just first of all, just what did you make of these exchanges yesterday? First of all, in terms of what Henry Staunton had to say, hitting back at the claims that we've heard from Kemi Badenoch, and of course, what she has claimed about him. Is he one of the goodies or the baddies in your view? You've been at the heart of this for so long.
Yes, it's very difficult for us mere mortals who weren't in on these various conversations and briefings to know who's in the right of it. But the most moving thing I thought about yesterday was the subpostmasters themselves, who were talking about how their lives had been completely trashed by what the post office had done to them. So whether Henry Staunton was right or Kemi Badenoch was right or the civil servants was right, you rightly asked at the beginning, does any of this really matter? What really matters is the effect on the sub-postmasters and how we can put that right.
And it's clearly not being put right. And Alan Bates, who's been campaigning on this for years and years and years, and obviously got your help in the latter years, just, making it clear, people are not getting their pays. He's not had his payout yet. And even the money that has been on offer is, I mean, frankly, risible compared to the damage that a lot of these men and women have gone through. And I mean, £600,000, I mean, that doesn't cover your reputation. Having people spitting you in the street because they think you've been stealing from, people thinking little old ladies in the post office. I mean, people losing their livelihoods, their homes, their marriages, people losing their freedom on occasion. I mean, I'm thinking the money should be in the millions. What is stopping that money being paid out? Where is the incompetence? Because it's not just the post office. I think it's the government as well that's involved.
I agree. The money should be in the millions for many of them. But some people have lost, say, £5,000–10,000. Their reputations have not been completely destroyed. I mean, Joe Hamilton, for example, was backed by her village, South Warnborough, in my constituency, my old constituency, all the way to court. And yet other people's experience was quite the reverse of that. And I think in many cases it should be in the millions. The £600,000 you talk about is an option for those with overturned convictions to go for. So it's not the total amount that they can get. It's an
incredibly long procedure where people have to show, every single loss and evidence for it. And again, quite impossible in lots of cases for people to do that. A huge time-consuming issue. And yet there doesn't seem to be any sort of political will to deal with this. Do we need to basically just get a completely independent outside organisation to take this over so that no one involved with this up to this point has any say over it?
I sit on the Horizon Compensation Advisory Board, and we have said
I'll have you in charge
of the post office. We've said that the post office should be taken out of this completely. And maybe it's also right to say that the Department of Business and Trade should be taken out of it completely, because the government has got its own portion of the blame in all of this, as you have rightly said. And we've got Fujitsu that bears a large proportion of the cost. I would like to see an independent body running it, but what we must not do is slow down even further the payment of that money to the subpostmasters.
We all know where there's a will, where there's a will, there's a way. There clearly isn't the will, and there certainly hasn't been over these years. These people not just dragging their feet, paying money out, but also dragging their feet to exonerate people who they knew for a fact had been falsely accused. We still need to have some sort of prosecution, don't we? We also still need the money back, because any money that's paid out by the post office or paid out by the government is taxpayers' money. We're the sole shareholder in the post office. This money needs to be coming from people who ran the computer, Fujitsu. They knew that their computer was faulty. They allowed we had a conspiracy to basically pervert the course of justice with some of these prosecutions. We need people to go to jail, don't we?
Yes. I'm sure we do. And actually, I am most unusually an optimist on this. I think people will go to jail, and I think that there will be some who deserve to.
Absolutely.
But the taxpayer did get some benefit from this, shockingly, because some of the money that the post office wrongly took from the sub-postmasters was then given to the post office, which is owned by the taxpayer.
Yes, although it also went out in bonuses, didn't it, to the board as well. Lord Arbuthnot, you've done such a fantastic job on this. You've been a fantastic champion for good on this.